Hello, wherever you are. I'm chatting today from a very wet, cold Zurich, and a place where we begin to wonder whether there's going to be summer this year or not, because it has been so cool this last month. So let's have a look back at last week, and thank you for the posts that have been coming in and for your many good suggestions. One of the things that came up in the start of the week was about motivating CAS. And I think there's several aspects to that. First of all, one of the key ones is how the school perceives CAS. Is it important? Is that recognised in terms of funding? Is it recognised in terms of timetable time? Because that says to the students, this is something that is important. And also, what support is there for the CAS coordinator? For example, does the CAS coordinator have the opportunity of running sessions in staff meetings and professional development meetings to enhance the status of CAS? One of the points that Meris made very well, I thought, was that really to enhance CAS and the other parts of the core, you need to have a drip feed approach. And to remember that the IB diploma is not just another set of subjects to actually get in to university, but it's actually a whole package meant to be about holistic education. And CAS is a key part of that. And that's something which needs to be embraced by the school and also by the staff and the students. Another key factor that's related to this is the amount of time that the coordinator has available to actually talk and support students. I think this is something which is terribly important. When the students know there's a personal interest in them, then they will be motivated to do things. It's also important, I think, to start CAS with a bang and not with a whimper, and to have activities which really introduce students to the experiential nature of CAS. We saw some scenarios actually which highlighted some of the problems that CAS may face in school. And one of those is clearly a lack of time and and communication sometimes from the coordinator. I think when we look at an ideal CAS program, one of the things we would expect is that there are some activities which are available to the students and may help them to get a kickstart with each of the three areas. However, what we want to see as the program progresses is the students taking more responsibility for actually organising the activities. The three scenarios presented highlighted a lack of thorough preparation and a lack of good communication, particularly about service activities and not being clear between the students about what they're trying to do, and also with the people that you want to work with to do the service. And I think that's really important. Andre made a very good point about if we're working with people from another culture, making some effort to find out about that other culture. Okay, another thing which we saw this week was actually an outline of what could be in a student's portfolio. It was about the Sunshine Club to promote and advocate awareness of homeless people. And there was some interesting and useful documentation in this package for students, Sample A. First of all, there was a proposal form for CAS, which I think gives students a crutch, if you like, to help them organise what they want to do and how they want to do it. The proposal form needs, of course, to be viewed by the coordinator and to give some feedback to the students about how viable what they're actually trying to do is. Then when we looked at other aspects of that student sample A, we had an action plan. We had minutes from a meeting they had, which showed they thought through how they were going to organise things. And they also had come up with a simulation plan. Now, there were some aspects that you pointed out that were issues for them. One of them was how they would deal, for example, with disruptive students. How were they actually going to demonstrate what they're going to do? Did this mean they were going to then take it into the local community and actually start working with homeless people? And that wasn't clear from what was going on. They also had a clear action plan, which was really positive. So, moving into week 3, the first learning engagement is about interviews, and you have been organised into groups. The groups can be found in the announcements. You should make an effort to contact the other members of the group as soon as you possibly can. I think that's really important. The second learning engagement deals with looking at a student's response to the final interview and seeing from listening to this, have they really met the requirements for CAS? And the last part of this requires you to look at, that's learning engagement 3, requires you to work with a partner, and the partners again have been posted in the announcements. And what you have to do is select part of a portfolio of a student that you think you would want to send to the team evaluating your CAS program. There's one important thing I forgot to mention, that for learning engagement A, 3A, the first learning engagement for module 3, in other words, I have put the student reflections B and C, which are missing from the resource library, into the sharing resources folder. I have also posted a copy of that on this week's announcements. Well, I'm really looking forward to your posts for this week, and I hope that you continue to get a lot from the workshop.